Yachty, your label mate QC, he said he wouldn't work with Nicki because of the beef with Cardi. So would you work with Nicki?
I just better stay away from that question. Like, I don't want to get into that. But I am Team Cardi. City Girls is Team Cardi. Cardi support the City Girls.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss two things that happened a couple weeks ago where Nicki's name was brought up in two different situations. But before we get into it, please like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to stay updated every time I post. Okay, so the theme of this video is keep Nicki out of it. Let's get straight into it. So this nigga, Capella Gray, let me not do that. Capella Gray, a rising New York City artist who went viral, I think in 2020 or 2021 for his song Gyalis, tweeted, "Female rap is too lit right now. No funny stuff, they got it. All we need is one shorty to give us a verse as powerful as Nicki's Monster. Shout out to everyone going crazy. We just need one of y'all to go stupid one time." Now, my first time reading this, I didn't see anything wrong with it, and I genuinely still have nothing wrong with his stance. I don't know, I'm also from New York like Capella, so I automatically thought of female rappers from here who are not mainstream yet. Most of them making noise are not even signed, but they have more talent than the mainstream female rappers out right now. But this can't happen for several reasons. One thing to note is that you'll get not so good reactions from the barbs when you have Nicki's name in the same sentence, especially when saying something is missing and or needed in music amongst female rappers and or in the culture. However, I got what he was trying to say. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm tired of artists, blogs, and the media in general acting like barbs are the problem. When you say Nicki Minaj's name in anything, you will hear the barbs' opinions, whether they agree or disagree. Whatever feedback you get, you brought it on by mentioning her. The barbs were just voicing their opinions, though, which is mostly the consensus about what everyone thinks about female rap right now, and that it's not up to par. Like, yeah, it's a lot of women right now, but are they really talented and successful? That's a whole nother conversation for another day, child. Anyway, so the blog got the scoop, reposted Capella's sentiments, and he was in the comment section talking about no disrespect to barbs, but y'all don't get tired of being so negative? What is with all of this? The new generation is doing their thing. Y'all should be rooting for everyone trying to make it right now. He adds, these comments are sad. I didn't know y'all were this bad for real. I don't agree with him implying that we the barbs should be supporting every rapper right now. It's not our responsibility to blow up your careers because half of y'all really not even that talented. Now, I personally don't think he was trying to compare any of the new girls to Nicki or wanting them to outdo her, but that's the point. Make your point without using Nicki's name because then your point becomes lost. What he's basically saying is that he wants one of the newer generation of women to drop a verse with the same type of impact that Monster had for Nicki's career and hip hop as a whole. This is where we disagree because to spit a verse like Monster, you need talent, wit, depth, personality, and no ego. It's known that Kanye made Nicki rewrite that verse several times. You need to be coachable, which is nothing that anyone in the newer generation portrays. We're always complaining about how music these days is so monotonous and how the girls are too over-sexualized and that they only talk about one thing. But let me ask you something. If you believe that there's a girl out there that can do a verse as impactful as Monster, throw her name in the comments. The only ones in my head that could do it is Doechii, Young Devin, Lola Brooke with a lot of pen work, and maybe, just maybe, Flo Milli. I don't know. Who do you think? I was just about to move on to the next topic, and then I found this other screenshot where he claims he clarified his statement. He said, I was just saying Nicki's Monster verse is iconic, and we need the new rappers to come with the same type of creativity in verses like Prime Nicki, because to be honest, I'm rooting for them. Nobody can replace Nicki, and nobody is trying to end her. She too legendary for her fans to move so. Once again, I don't disagree with his sentiments. But the wording is what's getting him in trouble because now he's insinuating that Nicki is no longer in her prime, not releasing great work and being acknowledged for it. Last year in 2022, Nicki released over 10 songs between singles and features, did several interviews both in print and on camera, headlined several festivals around the world, gave a lot of visual and audio content, and won both domestic and international awards. Can you tell me which other female rapper was still charting high and debuting high at positions 1 or 2 top 5 on the chart 15 years into their career? Once again, 15 years into their career. I've been saying this all over social media that Nicki Minaj did more than the top A-list artists who released albums last year. Nicki practically did album rollouts and a tour, just not as extensive as when you are releasing a new studio album, which leads me to gag about the potential rollout for the 5th album and what Nicki is planning for a pre and post rollout. Okay, let's switch gears because it seems like people can't give props to the new girls without mentioning Nicki, and it's my biggest pet peeve, and it's really the central theme of this video. Lil Mo, the singer, sat down with Cam Newton for a conversation. I didn't watch the whole thing and I don't know where this show or podcast is, so if you know, let me know below. But this snippet was floating around the blogs and got people talking, so let's watch it and talk about it.
Honestly, I'm gonna be real honest. You can't compare a Lotto to a Nicki because Nicki been in the game.
Right.
You feel me? So when she say all these bitches is my sons, people like, oh, she throwing shots. It's like, no, because before her, she bows at Lauryn Hill. She bows at the people. These people be like, oh, I got a #1 hit. And I'm not talking about nobody in general because they always getting their feelings because of me.
Right.
But a lot of people be coming out talking heavy. I'm like, if you ain't been in the game for at least 10 years, 5 years don't count. If you ain't been in this game for at least 10 years and been through a scandal, a damn death threat, and almost near death experience, you can't say that one hit or have, no, you gotta have a discography.
A discography.
That way.
A whole lineage or a body of work.
I'm thankful that Mo is consistently showing Nicki love and respect as an artist who has been in the game longer than her. Her words are so important because she's saying that you can't compare Lotto or any newer mainstream girl to Nicki because Nicki was already in the game with a full discography before they even thought about picking up a pen. Most of these newer age rappers are younger than me, meaning you were still in elementary school when Nicki blasted into the mainstream, which is how you found out about her. So how could you, as a rapper or any common person, or what really gets me is industry and media people, how could y'all compare any of these girls to Nicki? That's what you guys are not understanding. She was who she was while they were still learning their ABCs. It's like comparing Normani to Beyonce, because you'd never do that. After they get a #1 or some viral success, they do all this big talk, as Mo said. That's nice, congratulations. But the most important factor missing from music conversations these days are artists and fans thinking that an artist is the biggest thing in the world and forgetting that time is the most important factor in success. If it wasn't, then we wouldn't have this term called one-hit wonder, where we talk about people who only have one majorly successful song that they're known for. It's a great accomplishment that you got a #1, but I will be watching over time how consistent your music is, content-wise, release-wise, and numbers-wise. For example, in male rap right now, people always want to say that Lil Baby right now is equivalent to Lil Wayne's Run. Off of one album? Then he released his sophomore album and it did okay numbers-wise, but who's still talking about it months later? During his release week, I heard a lot of people saying it was mid and therefore sounding redundant. The issue is that social media hype and perception does not and cannot forecast and project an artist's career. I also think that artists are less versatile than they used to be, but that's another conversation for another day. Okay, so let's watch the rest of this clip before I unload the rest of my clip.
I just don't like the competition amongst our own. Nicki, bad bitch, bad chick, mom, wife, a pinnacle and a staple in this industry and this culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the differences is. I don't care what the differences is. I don't really even like talking about people that's not in my presence. But at the end of the day, I just would love for more people to collab, more female artists to collab, because what Nicki Minaj has been able to do, as well as what Lotto has been able to do, is something that we haven't really seen before. Like the black woman artists is at an all-time high, in my opinion.
It is.
And the fact that we all can, all right, cool, it's your turn. Okay, let's give her her roses. Okay, boom, it's her turn now. It's boom, whatever. And it's more like competition, like, oh, no, it's okay, keep it cute, but bow down. Yeah, I
think like keep it cute or keep it mute.
Yeah.
He insinuates that there's competition between female rappers and that Nicki is responsible for the competition and animosity amongst women in rap. Isn't rap a competition though? Isn't that one of the premises that hip-hop was built on? Let's be clear, Nicki does not compete with anyone because there simply are not as talented as her, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan. As a fan, though, a lot of Nicki's bars go over my head too, and I randomly figure them out while I'm not even listening to music. It could be today or years later. Cam says, I don't like the competition amongst our own. Nicki is a pinnacle in the industry and the culture, and that he would love for more female artists to collab. And he literally said, what Nicki has been able to do and what Latto has done has never been seen before. What has Latto done that hasn't been done before? What has Latto done that Nicki hasn't done? I'll wait. I got it for you. Latto is the first solo female rapper from Atlanta to have a gold plaque, and thus a platinum plaque. The first female rapper to have a #1 on 3 different radio formats at the same time. Good for her, but what else? Latto was a son, just like every other girl out there. Respectfully. Nicki has the most female rap collabs out of any artist in history. So this stigma that she doesn't work with women and she's not a girl's girl is just really false. Nicki has worked with artists who she unfortunately has fallen out with, but also artists like Bia, who she still has a strong relationship with to this day. Last year, between her Super Freaky Girl Queen mix and the Little Miss Fine 9 remix featuring Sken and 9 other Caribbean artists, Nicki worked with around 15 female rappers and gave them all their first #1 on US iTunes. Who else did that? I can't stand this rhetoric and wanting female unity in rap and then saying Nicki's name and then also saying I want more collabs when I just said Nicki is the artist with the most female rap collabs in history. But people say it as if it's Nicki's responsibility to do this. We don't put that same responsibility to the pop and R&B girls and Beyonce. So why must she do everything and help everyone? It's not making any sense. It's not adding up. But regardless, she has done it.
It's more like competition, like, oh, no, it's okay, keep it cute, but bow down.
He's referring to this keep it cute but stay in your lane nonsense while also insinuating that Nicki Minaj is the reason for the lack of collaboration between female rappers and general lacking female unity within rap. When little does he know, this is how Cardi B interacts, works with, and moves around with all of the women in rap. Watch this.
There's a concentrated, I think, effort for the girlies to play nice with each other. I can see it. Right. Either play nice with each other or respect everyone's space. Right. So I'm not going to be the media nigga to put something in that, but I like that. Do you notice it? Are you cognizant of it?
Yes, of course. Of course. It's been, but it didn't start from there. It didn't come from a good place. It came from the place of, well, yeah, it's great. Let's move on.
Yeah, wherever it came from, who cares? It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
And that was on display with that whole City Girls thing that we learned over the internet, however it was birthed. Like, that was more just leadership in that direction. Like, we don't need to mess.
That's right.
Did you see that? Did you see how Nicki stopped herself from spilling some tea right there? And then did you see how Joe Budden brought up the City Girl situation? This interview was done a couple weeks after the release of Do We Have a Problem? This is important because during the week of the release of that song, Nicki did several interviews. The City Girls were mentioned, and then she ended up making up with the City Girls after that week. Now, this next clip is the real tea. Remember this?
You know, Yachty, your label mate QC, he said he wouldn't work with Nicki because of the beef with Cardi. So would you work with Nicki?
I just rather stay away from that question. Like, I don't want to get into that. But I am Team Cardi. City Girls is Team Cardi. Cardi support the City Girls.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think,
they're like, keep it cute or keep it mute.
Yeah.
Need I say any more? After seeing these clips, are you still gonna say that Nicki has these girls coming in the game saying, keep it cute, but stay in your lane? Cardi was the one that had and still has the girls coming in saying they love her, whether they are authentic artists or not. This doesn't apply to Young Miami, but I don't understand how you can be a rapper that writes all your raps but still look up to Cardi. She's the closest thing to an industry plant and hasn't moved the needle with anything in regards to artistry and artistic integrity. But that proves Cam Newton's and Joe Budden's point as to all the girls playing nice but staying in their lane. Cam and everyone who thinks like him should look to Cardi and call on her to take accountability instead of Nicki Minaj. Don't forget that as a media man in the industry, Joe Budden himself pointed out that there was a concentrated effort within the industry to push women over to the other side. And then Nicki responded with, you know what? It is a great thing. Why do you think that she shut down instead of making a point? Who were they talking about? Who made this concentrated effort? And what side are they referring to? Joe Budden's argument and Cam's statements represent the difference between people who are in the know and study and analyze the movement of female rap and those who are just looking from the outside and only see the surface level of, hey, all women are winning and that we have more female rappers than ever before. But they're not seeing the social and political factors that play into everyone's positioning in the game right now. With Capella and Cam Newton's statements that we talked about today, I just want everyone to hold all female rappers accountable and praise them without comparing them to Nicki or putting her in it, because you take away from them and their accomplishments by mentioning her, since her success is currently untouchable. The Nicki Minaj glass ceiling is too high for them to reach right now. But in your opinion, what would it take for a current female rapper to drop a monster type verse? Let's compare our lists. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Please let me know what you think of the lashings I gave out today. Did I make any points? What did I miss? Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, and Capella, stay over there because you left a bad taste in a Barb's mouth. And for all of you celebrities out there and YouTubers, content creators, stop talking about the Barbs and you won't have no problems.